Old presence is saying, hey, enough is enough. You know, this is just too damn tough. I'm worn down, dear. I want out of here. I want back to the light and get it just right. You know, maybe I got it in a gunfight. Maybe I got it through cancer or a heart attack. Maybe I got it just by going and sitting on the mountain and saying goodbye, Charlie. And riding off on my Harley until there was no bottom underneath us anymore and we flew on forever. Maybe that's how we evened the score. Just the same, there we are in that moment, that precipice of time where time is no more. And you exist beyond the bodily presence and the earth within that bodily presence too. You've separated yourself once again, yet you feel united with it all as you sit there and watch your life flow by, flow through. And you see it all so clear now, dear, and you can bless it. And you do. For the most part, some people are frightened by it and run in fear from the truth, dear. But, you know, there's no running here. And there is no more the haunting of the ancient past where the goats stick around forever and ever, you know. No way, babies, you know. The light has softened itself sufficiently as to attract the darkness within it, which ain't light at all. Yeah, right? BS. Without light, there's no dark, you see. Without motion, there is no feeling. Without action, there is no reaction. Without reaction, there's no revolution. And revolution brings forward what? Resolution. A revolution of the heart. Because each one of us is at that moment, that precipice of time, quite divine. And we can remember it from the past. If that helps us get it here, it's okay. Go and remember that death, dear, and bring it back to life. See, you embraced yourself in that final moment. You really did. And all of it that brought you there. You really did. That's why you were able to move on. See, that's the real tricky part here, is to die right so you can take flight. In other words, in that moment of truth, the precipice of time, as I'm calling it, you get it clear. And you embrace it because you love it. Where you been, and now you know where you're going. Because you're already there. Because see, when you embrace the past, you embrace the present moment at last. And the future, if there is any, in that time sense anyway, is created of what you feel right now. All of it. And if that's tarnished and needs a little polishing up, well, get your ass in gear, man. Don't be laying around, man. Go kiss somebody on the cheek, you know. Go give somebody a hug. Go give somebody a bowl of soup that's hungry, you know. Go buy a beer for an alcoholic and tell them to enjoy it, you know. I mean, whatever, man. Do something that makes your heart feel good about itself today, you know. It's Free Day Friday, and freedom is meant to be shared. And in the simplest and most pure sort of ways. So take this energy, this cosmic experience of right now, the expansion into the reality of and how, here on the Coyote Medicine Show, where else but the AZ Radio Network, coming to you from high in the sky, yeah, from the heart of love, inside you and I, all of us together, Grandpa Coyote, and a whole bunch of angels, and some of them look like coyotes and wolves and shit. Some of them look like lizards and snakes. Watch out, they got wings too, baby. You ever heard of the feathered serpent? Now there's a tale to tell, man. Talk about your transitory being. Talk about a transitional thing. This is back in the days of Quetzalcoatl, man, you know. And not too many people know the real tale, and maybe I hesitate to tell it much, you know, because, well, shit, there's all these tablets and shit that says otherwise, you know. But see, Quetzalcoatl wasn't any more than the typical, you know, wise guy that caught on to the jungle of life, man. See how the vines wrapped around the tree and thought, wow, what an embrace. And what a disgrace we don't acknowledge that, eh? You know, and so he began to perpetuate, as a she, you know, a material reality far different than the one they lived in. And, you know, he and she realized this in the moment they created it, you know. And this is back about 800, 1200, 1500 years ago. I mean, there was a lot of transitory times back in those rotating days of those ways, you know, as we see it from the time perspective anyway. But that was Quetzalcoatl and his little maid. I can't even remember her name now. Where is it, baby? You got a handle on that one, or is it just a flame? A fire burning bright that you couldn't resist, see? This shit happens in this life, and that shit happened then, baby, just like it is right now, see? There is a fire and a flame, a passion in the heart that translates into the blood, that translates through energy into life. An irresistible impulse, an urge to be united and gathered together in the days of Quetzalcoatl. And I think her name was Maria or something like that, some derivative of Mary Jane. Of course, what else would she be, you know? I don't know what he was, you know, Quetzalcoatl, don't you see? Had a long white beard too, just like me, man. He was like, you know, a little angel in disguise, but he wasn't quite as, you know, orphish or as impish as I am. This guy was a little more pure, you know. He's like, wow. You could see the angelic presence in him. You didn't have to guess about it anymore, you know. He wasn't like a coyote so much as I am. He was more like the wolf, the direct light, the direct thought, the direct feeling. You know, let's go. Get on with this medicine show, don't you know? In the way of the wolf, Quetzalcoatl and his dream gathered themselves together back in those days when they were divided by continents and prairies and mountains and oceans and rivers and cultural differences so vast it's as if there were two different existences they came from. Far more than is possible in the present day world, because we're more joined with it than we ever were back in that time, believe it or not. We were broken and scattered, but we had our points of light. And Quetzalcoatl was drawn to one of them, that he might there on top of that sacred temple unite the light and the dark, become the eye of the top of the temple, the EYE that sees and bees all. And he knew it was a great sacrifice. His life was nothing. He'd been through that moment already several times before. His life was nothing. It was lived no matter what form it has taken. So that wasn't the mistaken part. It was just time to complete a journey in this dream that really, in some way, had been really undivine. And quite, you know, the time, quite the undoing of what we're doing. You know, the undone part of it, that, wow, before this time had been carried as a burden under the sun and not a blessing by anyone. Well, maybe a few caught on, but mostly not, you know. And so there was this heaviness there in the bright jungle of life where this beautiful, magnificent golden temple rose up into the sky, maybe 1,500, 2,000 feet. That's what, 3,000 meters, you guys? Okay, you got it. Got to pick on you just a little for being so darn continental now, don't we? Yes, indeed. So through odd set of circumstances, a sailor man, Quetzalcoatl, brought over to this magic land. You know, like on wings of eagles before there were no storms. They were on a boat made of reeds, you know, to fulfill their needs at that time. And somehow it made it. Thousands of miles across the waves and journeys of the ocean, guided by the stars and the angels' love, pulled by a light that only he could see and feel. For indeed in his time he was a prophetess, and a profiteer too, looking for the advantage that he could see clear for himself and the one he loved too. For she and he were one almost, as good as you could get without giving up the ghost and just reuniting with your one universal heart. The moment that's so sought in physicality is the reality when you pass on. Shit, you're right back there where you are. And you're always there, just dreaming this journey in this reed boat to this magical land of paradise where the jungle is twice as nice and the feathered serpent do live and do fly high in the sky. And quite happily so, shining like a rainbow. That's the lighter side of life before it became so heavy. For he brought that burden with him as a blessing, of course, in disguise, and brought her forward from the earth, that they might unite just right there in the temple of the journey of love. and in their loving moment give it away as they've done since that beginning day when the sacrifice of the heart was required and sickeningly desired by a loving heart that needed to know that kind of experience in the flow. So now was a completing of one. 1 billion years and it was done. Quetzalcoatl and this one gathered together under the sun. And in the orgasmic delight, take flight from life and realize the one, but had to pass on to do it. Yet their radiance remained in that golden temple of light as their blood dripped onto the floor, burning a presence, a flame, a torch arising that transformed everything and blinded the eyes of those who saw it so they'd never see it again until the time of the very end, which is where we begin right now in this mystical tale of a reality of truth taught from a heart within yourself, a teacher of high training, of worthy occupation here and then some. For this is Quetzalcoatl, the land of the rising sun, the man that is the rising one, in the woe man that he brought with him. For we are united in flight. Now the flight is anchored through that golden temple of love, the worthiness of the return from death into life once again. The angel's delight. As we re-energize the life and undo what has been done for many centuries under the sun, usually hidden in the night, some dark place with a fire aglow, and she's taken. Not anymore. We undo the death. We find the life within that death, and the dying is no more. We experience that pinnacle of time, the moment that's real, and that's the deal that we feel. On a free day Friday, in a funny sort of way, a little obscure radio show from a planet different than ours, man. A spaceship love. One that is removed from this reality, yet is all of it. For we're all within the spaceship love. We all are living the truth of our own little drama, the same as the Quetzalcoatl and his Maria do, and all those temple priests and priestesses that surround him too. See, the sacrifice is given within me and you and all of us together as one light. See, when we see that, then we do unite right there in the pinnacle of that temple and become the eye of love that sees forevermore the creation of paradise. A transformative flame that makes it all quite nice. So relax and enjoy the rest of this medicine show, don't you know, here on the Everclear Hazy Radio Network with Grandpa Coyote, his angelic friends, including you, all of us coming back to life. Hear the call of your ancestors, which is you calling yourself forward too. Be fluid in your life, flexible. Go where the spirit wind might direct the wave and share your waving love there too. In whatever way that comes directly through you, however it may be. It's a moment in time that is forever. A joining with the true life of love inside of our very presence, which is the presence of the earth, finding her B-E-R-T-H, birth, her place of being inside of each being that is. Ooh, that's the medicine we get here in that Coyote way. Once again today, on a free day Friday, wouldn't you say, salute you, baby, and thanks for being here, babies, and helping us all get it clear. Without your heart, it wouldn't happen, dear. See, we're all in it together. We're never apart. We're united in a living work of art. Ooh, a grand work of love. A graduation. See how we've paid our dues so many times before? Quetzalcoatl, the enlightened one, Now ain't that some bitch kind of fun? Even though it's a sickening thing, it's a reality undone. See? See how we be? We set this medicine up so long ago. It can't help but continue the flow of right now, the heart of Van Hal. See? We let go of that heaviness, that burden, because we found the undoing of it, the blessing in it. The heartfelt love that would sacrifice itself so to prove something really multidimensional to itself, indescribable in the terms of now, except that, well, we know it's love and it's ever expansive. And whatever experience it's chosen for itself, that is the divine awakening. And that moment lives that precipice of time in all of us. Are you satisfied with it now? Can you see your way through? Can you see it clear to the moment of now and say inside yourself for real, and how? Whatever it's taken, that's what I've given, and whatever's been given, sure comes back to us now, don't it? And how? And all this time we thought we were this little tiny island in the sun, the only one, how to take care of ourselves, nurture our wounded hearts through the whole of this bullshit reality and just hurt like hell because well, we're living through it quite naturally, but all caught up in the drama of it, don't you see? Our hurting little hearts begging and pleading to be set free and having to submit to a larger dynasty that was a stitch of a web, a weave around us to just stifle the snow in and ultimately took us out again and brought us back to life, you know. See, it's the transitory thing that we're learning to experience and remember and how now. You understand my meaning, babies? We're in this cosmic flow called rock and roll, and it's the medicine of the heart and soul, often disguised as a coyote, don't you know, which means we clown around. But we hang down in the right part of town, man, and we got the right cars, and we got the right furniture in our pads, man, and we the big dads and the big lads and the big mamas too, babies. There ain't a small-chested woman amongst us, baby. Excuse me for being, crass, but it's the mood of the times there on the corner of the street lights of life where we're looking for some love, man. Where's Journey when I need him? No longer islands in the sun. We're the only one. Don't... Calling forward, Steve Perry, Journey, where the hell are you guys? Man, I need you guys right now. When the lights go down in the city and everybody's a sunshine rise, and what is that? Ooh, Streetlight City. You betcha you got to get it right here on the Coyote Medicine Show, because we got the heart and soul of the dynamic of the rhythmic thing beating inside of your hide, as well as the one that gets you to feel the real deal. No matter what, man, because that's what you feel, because you are kind of real. And anyway, now what am I looking for here? Gee whiz, I know it's here, man. We already did that one, man. Shoot, can't do that again. I tell you guys, come on, no, give me some music we can live with, man. Where's the one with Streets Lights, people? Oh, shit, I know I've got it. It's not only the young. Oh, where is that thing, man? Guys, you are just disappointing me. Stevie, get with the program here, man. I don't know what's going on here on the Coyote Medicine Show. Journey's giving us some difficulty, don't you know? Well, I guess what we got instead of street lights, people, is like City by the Bay, because the lights are there too, wouldn't you say? Do you remember the last time you visited the Bay Area down there in California here on Turtle Island? I certainly do, baby. I feel a blossoming going on because of it too, because I planted a seed or two while I was down there, left a dream or so behind me just in case others wanted to catch on to it, And I think this one lady in particular really did. I could see the light go on in her eyes when her heart started to open up, It was a long time ago. It's been 15 years now since I've been down there visiting, man. Ooh, but in the end, however, right now, it's almost like Quetzalcoatl went there and made love with his woman and went through the whole thing, man, right there in the Bay Area 15 years ago. But it wasn't any of that. It was just a light little thing of recognition, you know, of a heart. And because that one was recognized, began to recognize itself. You understand how that works? You've been doing that too. You've been planting little seeds all over the place. And babies, maybe they were misunderstood in the time, you know, that they were given. But guess what? They got under the skin just the same, and that's where the journey of their reality began, and of yours too, because you root down in that experiential earth, and from there is the launch pad of life that expands us into the full blossoming presence of the universe. Man, shit. Now don't kid around with yourself. Be the hippie. Be the life. Be the love that we really already are. Understand that we expand beyond this universe even. Into everything living. We are living in it. See, this is what the coyote knows, what he's carried through the ages, he and she, because there are no differentiation between the sages. The sage is given in generic form, however it pleases itself to be, you know. And, you know, I'm partial to it in the chick reality myself, because it looks so much better than the white-bearded old man that keeps repeating its shit through history. I mean, come on. That is so, you know, what do you call that, man? You know, satiric? Yeah, of course. But what's the other word? Caricature. Yeah, it's a caricature. Such a caricature. Just like George Washington and Abe Lincoln. Oh, shite. Ben Franklin, roly-poly himself. I mean, come on. The inventor of what? Oh, shite. But, you know, they did some good things, so we honor their ancestral ways right now. Hell, we might even be related to some of those dudes and dudettes back then, you know. I have a certain partiality. This girlfriend, who was really a slave set free of old Tommy Jefferson back in those days, you know. I know a bit of her story. I can't even remember her name right now, but she came to him as a slave and, you know, ultimately found freedom. He took him to gay Paris with himself and all kinds of different things, man. I mean, she got to rock the reality better than Oprah Winfrey ever dreamed of being. And by the way, whatever happened to Oprah? I don't see her around anymore. She don't seem to have much of a presence anymore. Whew. You know, that's intense, baby. And a lot of us went through a lot of things in this reality, you know, because of the girlfriend of Tom Jefferson and Oprah Winfrey, who was probably one of her ancestral traces. I almost give you money on it. What was that girl's name, guys? Help me out here. I can't remember it right now. And I righteously should. I mean, shit. I'm in a historical phase. I know this shit, man. I'm supposed to remember all these little facts and figurements, ain't I? Nah. That's just trying to hang on to something that was past that really wasn't what you thought it was anyway, man. You know? But always there are these good and blessed moments. Why can't I find that song that Journey done, man? Oh, I'll find it here in a few minutes, guys. You give me a little time to poke around the green room. These guys are hiding something from me, man. I know they are. But don't worry, I got the nose of the heart. I can... Well, I don't know. Today they got so much aluminum chlorhydrates in the air that my nasal passages are kind of restricted because, you know, they filter out that aluminum crap that way, you know. We get rid of it, man. Shite. You know, I mean, well, sometimes the manufacturer in this life does blow, don't it? Oh, sometimes it could be so damn dismal, man. I mean, shit, when you look out and all you see is haze, you know, all that white powder in the air ain't just smoke, you know, it's crap from the spray jets up above, and you just see it all as an act of love. That this earth wouldn't allow herself to be abused in such a way unless there was a way of containing it. You know, of allowing it to be in a different way, given in a divine, mystical way, yeah, but which we each reflect in our life. In the sacrifice that we give up on our journey of love. Into this moment of awakening, which is, well, Free Day Friday on the Coyote Medicine Show, don't you know? Face your death, you found your life, because there ain't no death no more. We live in it because we're loving it. Now, I got to go let Obi-Wan Kenobi back in out of the sunshine. He's had enough already because it's probably only about 32 out there so far. And he's a bit of an impatient assistant DJ. But Well, then what can the old man say? If my patience were long, we wouldn't be sitting here now. It would have been done a long time ago. But this is that moment of long time ago, ain't it? Wow, how does that work, man? Shit. I don't know, man. I'm starting to catch on. How about you, Jane? Jane, wake up. Come on. Wow, that must have been a righteous toque. She's dreaming away. And we'll be back just a few minutes here after we waltz around with Mary J. and the divine little doggy named as Obi-Wan Kenobi, man, the whiny weenie that's such an elegant being and sets such a fine sniff example for us. Oh, woof woof and howdy howdy, babies. You're getting rowdy with Grandpa Coyote and all the angels too, here on the Hazy Radio Network with a Coyote Medicine Show, baby. It's rock and it's roll. Ain't that awesome? Right here in the right now of and how and today we can live every sweet moment we've ever known or ever will know, because it's right now and it's the and how. So wherever we've been, that's the sweet vintage of a really fine wine, babies. That's us getting pressed down and vented out into some, the most refined wine that never whines, just pleasantly becomes the feeling of the divine, an intoxication beyond any intensity you've ever known. It don't dull you down, it brings you back up. The same way the sunshine of your love does in every gift that you share here, whatever it might be. It might be as simple as sharing a little of the loudness of this Coyote Medicine Show with your neighbors and friends, don't you know? Expansive we grow. United it be so, you see. So don't let anything, personality-wise interfere with that shit, man. Be in the heart. Well, I got it clear, man. It doesn't mean we have to hang out there, because we do already. We're present in everybody's love right here, so it's really clear that we're here to share and show that we care in some way or another. And mostly I see these coming forward as those little quiet things we do in the background when nobody's looking. We help each other out, and you do it coyote style, man. They don't know it until it's already on, till it's already happened, and then it'll dawn on them. You say, wow, that angel was there when I needed him, thank you very much, or something along those lines. We don't do it for the aggrandization of it, just for the recognition of the flow of the heart in it. The super unity of the super heart of humanity, which is the super heart of the earth, which is stronger and more resilient than any of the warlike attitudes here, and therefore kick their ass clear out of here. We're done with it, dear. The military shit is over with. Because Mama says, no more. You played with that toy too long. Put away that G.I. Joe. And G.I. Jane. Gosh, you guys are getting obscene about this stuff. Girls flying fighter jets. Get out of here. I'll put you in my UFO and spank you, babies. Lovingly so, of course. We're just joking around a bit, but we're serious about one thing. Everything's light and it's okay, and we're letting go of the military way. It's cool, ain't it, babies? See, we ain't no fool. If you want to know paradise, well, shoot. Just look around you. Just feel what's inside of you, And then how can you make war on paradise? I mean, come on, guys. It's your very own heart in motion. It's your city of light in the clouds in the air, and it's your city of light right here inside of yourself. The bear's lair, where you can hang out and hide out if you want to, but mostly you expand and grow from here. You see, it's really simple. But it's not always easy. And to you it might not even seem kind, but that's only because you treated others unkindly because you felt unkind within yourself, see, and got caught in a loop like that. But you didn't know any better. You can't fault yourself for it. I certainly don't, man. Shit, I've certainly done my share of that in some other way, but I'm sure I have. We're all about correctness, but not in a rigid sort of way. We don't keep score, in other words. Oh my God, I screwed. Oh my God, I did good there. Oh no, I didn't do good there, etc. No. We let all that go. That's the old chicken clucking over the egg she laid 3 hours ago, still bragging about it, don't you? I mean, come on, get over it. It's already hatched out already. You got an eagle flying over, it's going to eat you, and that's your baby chick, man. Shit. But it's about time that chicken got eaten, so it'll sacrifice itself to the eagle, its own baby child, in order to become nourishment in its heart, see? That's the reality of truth we live in here. That's the mother love right there. The old hen that sacrifices herself to her eagle, her little baby chick in the sky, coming down to pounce on her now. We used to have a big old silver eagle hanging out here. He had at least a 6-foot wingspan or more. Come down and just casual as you please out of the sky one day and landed in the backyard and hangs out there in this old pinyon pine and looks over the place and says, wow, this is really nice. I like it here. And we thought, wow, this is a gift from the divine angels, and it is. But he came to take the sacrifice that was already given. Him and that one chicken connected, and that's what he was given. And I suppose that's fair in a natural nature sort of way. But in the same way, man, it's like that eagle arose from that tiny little nest in that tiny little chicken coop of love there in our backyard. Somehow snuck out of the pen when it was a little one and went on to become an eagle, don't you know? That's coyote medicine here on the Coyote Medicine Show. In a very metaphorical sense, babies, but ooh, it's not intense now, is it? See? You start to understand the nature of a real sacrifice. Why a mother would allow herself to be depersonified through a death process into the life of her children. The regal one that flies in the sky. Hey, if I were a chicken, I'd give it up for that, wouldn't you? I'd be real tired of running around there in my own shit, man. I gotta get my wings out and fly with my baby's heart, man. See? That's the real sacrifice we're given to be. To let the mother come alive inside of us. And we know that means in the outer world, she's in the presence of all. And her person becomes the larger person of all creation. Consciously present in her divine feminine form. Which we humans and all the animals, birds, plants, and trees have carried forward for her through the divine nature of this experience called time. Beautifully given because, you know, shoot, we line up at the door here to experience this undivine way, this, you know, benign presence of an absence of heart, kind of. To live it cruelly for a while so we can learn patience with the dumbed-down child inside of ourselves. And find a way past the ridiculous nature and our way back into the reality of our ever-loving heart, man. That place to be given where we're always cotton-picking living. Those old cotton fields back home. When them cotton balls get to rotting, you can't save very much cotton, but it's still sweet to be there now, ain't it? And you know you'll get by for another year. You know you got a little stored up. You know everything's cool, man. There was a time in my life when I felt the primal call. What was it, 25, 30 years ago? Most even before that. But, you know, you go around the loop in this life and you try all these cosmic experiences, you know, trying to provide for yourself and others and so forth. And then you come to this place and wow, some kind of cosmic mix just weaved you right into it. And from there on you kind of launch yourself into a more cosmic sort of way and become far more cosmic in this life, you know. And because you can be expansive and real in it, well, you gain quite the reputation for it once you get out of your Rip Van Winkle stages, you know. And the tendency is to go back to lean on those Rip Van Winkle stages, the hibernation, the sleeping on the mountain and dreaming it into being. Because it's far easier to be dreaming than it is to be living in it, in the agony and the ecstasy of time, right? But why did we create time then in the first place? To feel, to slow ourselves enough down that we could feel and understand what feeling is and how it creates, how a simple thing like a floating thought. Now, that's a good word for it too, flot. We'll call it that. That's the creative thought. Flot. F-L-O-T, something like that. It's a thought in motion, see? A heart thought. The maternal thought. And it's not like, let's create a baby. It says, ooh, in this baby we're going to be living and flying high in the sky above these peaks of you and I. And in that precious eye of love, behold all of our creation inside of our perspectual self. And experience it as a reality, a full-feathered truth that flies on forever on the divine wind of love, the wings of the heart. That's what it means to be an angelic presence. That's what each of us are. Becoming aware of and living in at the same time. You know, it's a sweet design that's woven quietly right into the fabric of time in the coyote sort of way that it would be given. It's kind of hidden, yet it's, you know, it had to be quiet about itself or it wouldn't be real. And now it's all in what we feel, and that's the deal. And that's what makes it real, you know. You don't have to believe in me. I like it when you do, because I'm a creation of you, for heck's sakes. But if you don't believe me, that's okay too, man. I don't believe me either, man. I know better. I'm a good storyteller. I tell the tale really well. But in my heart, there is the spark of the genuine, isn't there? See? And I don't hide it, and I don't disguise it. I'm okay to be a baby child inside. I really am. Because I know that's the source of my wildness. And the former source of my pain, see, but in this moment of time, I realize that it's all that innocent child. It's all that child looking out through that heart with the eyes of amazement as it sees itself experiencing this shadowy sort of way all the gritty nature of this life. Ooh, and finds the true nature of the thread of the heart in it. You see? It's woven just right when you see it this way. And it all comes clear and you're at peace inside your own little hide, man. Your glowing hide now, because once you find that, you're there in the sunrise inside and you become an enlightened person, which means to lighten up. You lose your density. Changes your way and form of expression. Yeah, some would call you a shapeshifter. I don't. It's transformation. You reformate yourself according to the pattern of your true reality, you see. You don't live in the painting anymore. That's the shadowy part of yourself. It's beautiful, but you're the painter. The brush, the paint, and the creation of painting that you just did, man. It's going to hang in the museum forever, and people are going to admire it. Already they're worshiping at its feet, more or less. Do you realize that, dear, how divinely worshipped you are here already? You don't need to cling on to anything here that makes you grander than what you are, because you're already of the nature of the eagle heart, given the birth of that old hen, Mother Earth, who sat on the nest long enough and put up with all of our bullshit, too, in the meantime, to get us through it. That's the steady love of the eternal heart in every moment that we're living. That's freedom for the stallion, freedom for the mare and the colt, freedom for the baby child, who don't even care to vote. Thank you very much. Oh, baby, setting ourselves free on a free day Friday in that coyote way. Only on the Hazy Radio. Ooh, never do you get this kind of sweet medicine and flow. And a whole lot of rock and roll to go with it to help ease it in, because that's where the expansive reality is. In the moment we're giving back to ourselves and our heart. In that rock and roll sort of way, we see the rhythm and harmony in it, boy, and we start to appreciate it in that rocking sort of way, don't we now? So who wants to step up and, you know, get into the spotlight right now? Everybody's token down right now, and we know it's almost the end of the show already. And, you know, we're just trying to grab those last tokes before we all have to fly away and go be angelic presences somewhere else and doing something else. I hope on this Free Day Friday that you're able to flee any drudgery in your life. And flee doesn't mean to run away. Flee means to be absence of that in your presence anymore. Don't let the unpleasantry drag you down. Bless it. Find out what's really hanging around, you know. And if you need to get out of town, well, shit. There's the bus, the planes and boats and trains and all of that good shit. If I could find that one right now, that would be perfect for this moment. Where'd you guys go? Oh, I know. Okay, babies. Oh, Mama Cat's kind of getting in the way. She said, Coyote, I got the perfect completion, which is the beginning for you, right here. So her and the kids got together as the mamas and the papas once again, assemblaging just outside our green room on the spotlighted stage here on the Spaceship Love. Ooh, with the performances given from an angelic heart just like yours. Rosie, baby, ooh, we love you so. There's a brand